Okay, guys, it is Monday, January 15th, 2018. You probably will see this a day late, as all my other ones. I usually get in the house and start playing around with the computer and trying to go through these a little bit at night. So usually they go on around midnight and you'll see them the next day. But meanwhile, it is cold. It is 24 degrees Fahrenheit outside, 50 degrees inside. I'm holding at 12, no, I'm holding at 13.4, which is about normal, so that's about okay. And guys up there, hey, listen, my brother's up there in Canada. I like you guys, but come on, close the door. This Arctic weather that we're coming down from you guys is getting a little tired. Close the door. We don't want any more of your Arctic cold. So shut the door, guys. We had enough. Thank you. So, but meanwhile, Saturday, I had a few things I wanted to do. One was vacuum out the wood stove. Now, I'm not talking about hot ash or anything like that. But when you pull out the pan, sometimes you get some of the old ash that kind of hangs out inside the tray, and so every now and then I'll get in there with the big shop vac and I'll vac it out. Well, the other day I was in there getting ready to vacuum it out. I turned on the vac, I stuck it in there, and I'll tell you what, there's more dust coming out. The ash coming out than there was going in. I said, oh. Meanwhile, ash is flying all over everything. I had to open up all the doors, turn on the fans, to find out there was no filter. So apparently, somewhere along the line, we used it for water and didn't put the filter back in. And naturally, not knowing where or when, I couldn't find the filter either. So I bought a filter for it. Then I ran down to Tractor Supply because I had to pick up some bird seed, and they were out of the seed that I normally use, so I had to buy 2 bags of different so I can mix it so we can end up with the bird seed that our little fellas like. And I got that. And then while I was there, as you guys know, I had a gel problem with my diesel out here. First, the filter was shot. Yeah, that's all there was to it. So we ordered new filters for the tractor, for the John Deere, fuel filters. And I put the new one in, and we have a spare here. But meanwhile, finally got that started. And then Ryan, I think, John Deere, from, I believe he lives in Ohio. So he's out there where it's cold and open. I mean, like, there's just nothing but openness around him. So when it gets windy, he's feeling that wind. So he had mentioned, I think this is what he had said he uses, or for me to try. So I bought some of this. I think I've tried this or used this in the past. I forgot what I have in there now. But meanwhile, I bought some of this. And then one of his subs said, throw a gallon or so of kerosene in with the diesel, and that would prevent it. So, and that kind of makes sense. Something I wouldn't have thought about. So I'm going to run down to the corner and pick up a couple of gallons of kerosene. And there's about, I don't know, between 15 and 20 gallons of diesel still out there in the 55-gallon drum. So I'll throw a few gallons of kerosene in with that, and that should be okay. I don't want to put too much in, but just enough. I mean, you can burn kerosene, but it's just one of those things that it's something I don't want to do. So that's that. And then when I was there at the Tractor Supply, I also picked up one of these fine tooth brass brushes for my grinding wheel, because I've got one on there now that's metal and it's been on there for a long time. It's time to change it out. So I figured, well, let me get the brass, because sometimes the brass comes in handy. Then I don't remember for sure, but I believe it was not too something is his channel. He did a review on these the Walt sanding disc one time, and I picked up some. I picked up 4 of them up at Tractor Supply. They had, I think it was 2 to a pack for like $4.49 or something. So I bought 2 packs of 4. So I had 4 at that point, and I used them. One of them, I ran it to the paper, and it was still working. And then the other one I just hooked up. So I have 1 used that I'm using, and then 2 new. But when I was there, I said, you know, let me grab a couple more because they do work. So I just don't remember. I think it was not too. Anyway, he's out there. And so thanks to him, he turned me on to these. I've done used other ones in the past, you know, years ago, and they didn't hold up or do half as good as these did. Now, what I did notice was these were both on the same peg. But if you look at these, they're 2 different sizes. This one's wider than this one. Now, I wonder why. The paper length is the same. It's just that one is a lot wider. And they're the same grit. 120. Oh, no, they're not. I'm sorry. This is 60. Okay, that'll explain it. So I grabbed 2 that were on the same. Again, sometimes you got to pay attention. I don't always do that, but you know how customers are. They pick it up, they look at it, and they put it back. They don't pay attention to where they're putting it. They just put it back. Oh, that looks like it. Like me. I looked at it saying, oh, okay, let me grab 2 of those. Well, not until just now that I noticed that one was thicker. All right, well, that's because one is 60. Well, I can use the 62, so it's not a big deal. So also, while I was there, I picked up some rod because I have a few more things I want to experiment with. Plus, it keeps me busy. I picked up 4 brass rods and 4 steel. So meanwhile, that's where I'm at. So I got all that. Now I do have 2 videos I want to do. I already gave you some. Oh, you're going to sit over there and wait for more? Oh, yeah? You're going to talk to me too? Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. I have an antenna here. I'm not going to do a so-called review because you know how I am with reviews. I don't do reviews. First of all, I'm not going to stage everything and set it all up and have nothing but good to say. I'm not into that type of reviews. I'm just going to tell you what I like. I'm going to assemble it, test it, disassemble it, and let you know what I like about it. Shouldn't take more than 20 minutes or so. Now, to be in all fairness, I've already tried it, to be honest with you, but the video was so damn long I couldn't bore you with it. So I'm going to do it again real quick, and then I'll let you know what's going on. The other thing is, wait a minute, Nick, I got a 146 here that I found that I've had for about 30 years. This is an entry-level 146 sideband Cobra. I want to try to get it working, and this will be my unit for in here. Let me take care of the boys, and I'll be right back.